Hello and welcome to Apex Reviews. Today we're going to be installing some red map lights in our C7 Z06. Now while these lights are LEDs, there is no bulb, so you can't pop out the lens and swap one out. What you have to do instead is add some tint. I ordered this red tinting kit from Cost Corvette. I've ordered stuff there before and always been pretty happy with it. This kit was about $25 and came with 3 pieces of red film already pre-cut. It came with 1 piece for each light, and then an extra piece in case you messed up. The directions are pretty simple. You basically stick the red film onto the light, and then use your own straight edge to trim off the excess, making sure the whole time to not cut into your headliner. Since I had already replaced all the other lights in the car with red, I was pretty excited to get this done too. I started off by covering up my mirror. This is part of the directions. And then I moved the mirror out of the way. I think this is to make sure that you don't damage the mirror. I cleaned off each of the lights pretty good using the alcohol wipe, and then I made sure to let that dry. Step number 1 is to remove the adhesive backing by biting a corner of the film with your teeth and separating it. Step number 2 is to apply the film to the middle of the light, and then work the film out towards the edges to get rid of the bubbles. This all in all seems pretty easy, so let's get started. I started off by trying to remove the adhesive backing, only to find that there was none. I thought maybe this film's a little different. Maybe their directions are outdated. Maybe this is just more of a static film. So I tried to apply it and stick it on. I'm fine with the static, if it had worked, but it did not. I tried both sides. No matter what I attempted, I could not get this red film to stick to the light. At one point, I did manage to get the film to stay in place, at which point I started trying to cut it, thinking maybe if I could just get it to be the right size, it would stay up there. But as I started cutting, the film moved all over the place. There was no way I could get a clean cut. It was a complete disaster. I looked at the directions again. They were real easy. Remove the adhesive backing, stick it to the light, cut it to fit. Again, there was no adhesive backing. None of the 3 pieces had any backing. Cutting it to fit was a disaster because it constantly moved around. It would not stay in place, no matter what I tried. I tried a second piece. Both sides had the same outcome. I sent an email and these videos to Cost Corvettes and asked them what I was doing wrong. I thought maybe they could help me out, but they have yet to reply. If you're thinking of tinting your map lights, I'd say save your money and don't get your stuff from Cost Corvettes. Their customer service did not come through with this, and their directions were bad. It just didn't work, and for $25, it should work. Not wanting to give up, I bought this whole roll of vinyl film from Amazon. It was only $8. There's enough here to do 16 map lights, which is plenty of times for me to mess up. In the reviews for this product, they talk about how it is rolled so tightly that it does crease, but I didn't have that problem. I also got a squeegee and a straight edge. The directions are the same, oddly enough. Peel off the adhesive backing, start in the middle and work your way out using the squeegee. Then trim it using the straight edge. I cut myself a 3x3 square and got started. Right away I knew this product was different because it actually had an adhesive side, and the adhesive side actually stuck to the light. You definitely want to apply this from the middle and then work your way out. It makes it a lot easier. The adhesive was easy to apply and to pull off in case you needed to reapply it. It didn't do any damage to the Alcantara interior either. Once I had all the bubbles worked out, I shined a light so I could see the edges, and I was real careful in cutting it away from the lens. It's not too difficult to follow the line of the lens. You definitely don't want to push. All you need to do is apply a little light pressure to pop it through the film, and then you can just trace around the lens. Be careful not to cut that Alcantara. I took my time and went real slow. Again, you don't need to add a lot of pressure. Once you trim the outside, you can pull away the excess. Then you can trim around the on-off button. The on-off button was real easy to trace also. Once I'd trimmed off the excess, I just used my fingernail to secure all the edges. It gave it a pretty finished look. Now for the other side. Light pressure with the straight edge. Also, shifting the angle of your head so you can see where the lines are made it a little easier too. Don't just try to blindly follow the edge of the lens. Definitely look where you're cutting. Initially, both these lights were a little pink, so I ended up adding a second layer. When applying the first piece of film, you can always pull it off and reapply if you're having trouble working out the bubbles. But once you apply the second piece of film, you cannot pull it off anymore. If you do try to pull off that second piece of film, you're going to end up damaging the first piece, and it's very easy to see that when the light is on. When you apply the second piece of film, just apply in the center and work it outwards, taking your time. But even if you do mess it up, you have a whole roll, which means you have plenty of opportunities. Two pieces of red film on the map lights gave me the color I was looking for. Now all the lights in the Corvette are red, and I dig that. Thanks for watching.